Hey guys, it's Friday. It's not well, it is morning, so I'm still going to say Friday morning, but I'm not normally at my normal time because I did a video this morning and then I kind of watched it back and I was like, because it's basically me kind of talking about me, which I'll tell you in a minute, but yeah, I just I was like, no, that's not. What is it? I was like rambling a little bit, and I know I talk a bit, but this comes from 30-year-old Grum. I feel like an advertisement. It's great. Love it. 30-year-old Grum. Check in my description. I'll put his channel down there for you because he's a good guy. There's a lot of good guys in our group that we got going. I know I've spoken about our group before, but it's just a bunch of people that all like to think differently, all like to feed off each other, all like to learn, all like to leave the ego at the door, so to speak, knowing that the ego can get in the way, but knowing to hey, we can all learn. We can all learn off one another. A lot of these guys in the group, they're surfers, and I never got to do that. I boogie boarded a bit. I've actually body surfed, which was kind of interesting. That was really interesting because I've seen guys do it, and I thought, oh, let me have a go. And it took me quite a few attempts to know that I knew when I'd actually caught a wave properly. Put it that way. And I think I only done it about once or twice all the time I was doing it. But it was really strange because you can hear. I don't know if surfers, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you get into those, I can only imagine that wall of water, the sound in that, but also hearing, like if you was to shout, I'm wondering if you could hear echo, because I could hear. It was weird. I was actually hearing like sound echoing. It was strange. It was the strangest thing. And getting lifted forward and pushed was a really weird sensation. But yeah, I've always wanted to do it. So I get a lot of kicks out of watching these guys with surfing and learning about boards and it. Even though I might not get it, my back is all shot out now. Actually, my back's hurting now. My back and neck are all like messed up. So if I was to get on the board now and take a freaking hit, I don't know. It's like rugby. If I want to play rugby now, I'll run. I might get a tackle or two in, but it won't be long before I'm taking a hit, and there's an ambulance coming on. But no, Grum said, tell people about yourself and what you do, because he says you don't talk about much about what you actually do, and I probably don't, but a lot of what I talk about is what I do. And I practice what I preach. I have mental health myself, anxiety, depression, was told PTSD, and I've got anger and rage too. I don't pretend to be anything. I kind of somewhat fell into this work, so to speak. Through my therapist Judith, and then it just started growing from there. She showed me the energy work, and then I started getting into the energy work, and then through people's permission, she was having me go over to the office, and we still do to this day, started working on people in her office doing energy work, and then started to see, oh, hang on a minute, there's something here. I mean, even when I found out about what energy was, I apparently burst into tears and started crying because I remember looking up and I remember feeling, because I had my eyes shut and I remember Judith standing by me somewhere. I didn't know where. I knew she got up and walked towards me. And then I closed my eyes and I could feel pressure on like each side of my ear. It's funny, I've just had my left ear go numb. I don't know if that means anything, but that's really weird. My ear's just gone like numb. And then she was standing above me and I could feel this pressure each side of my head and wonder what it was. And when I opened my eyes and looked up, Judith was standing there like, I don't know, a couple of feet above my head. moving her hands in and out, feeling the energy above my head, and I just, apparently, I don't remember this bit, but Judith says I just went, freaking started crying, because it's like, well, I still do to this day, what's that? So that was the turn point for me. I've been doing a lot of work, therapy work, I was already building trust in my therapist, so, when she presented me with this, yeah, of course, I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, show me. And yeah, she did. So that was a turn point for me. And then, so as we were starting to work on people, and then I was coming into the office with their permission, like I say, and they were open to me conversing with them. So I started conversing with some of these people, and it started to make sense that I was hitting some nerves as well, and getting understanding. And then it went from there, really. Judith, my therapist, started pushing it. She, hang on a minute, let me change hands. She said, you've got something here. Started pushing it. I'm actually doing a certification course online. I've been doing it way long. I procrastinate too, but I use my tools, and I've been doing that this past couple of weeks, where I've been bringing my awareness to it and conscious of it, and then just getting on there and telling myself I'll do 15 minutes, and I end up doing half hour, 45 minutes. So I take my own medicine, but yeah, I slip. But I started growing. I started moving forward after I got shown the energy by Judith. Started seeing I had a freaking knack for this. Judith started pushing it. Started showing me more. Started explaining how to do things, and then I started doing it voluntary. Because an intern of Judith's left. They were clients, so I started doing this like voluntary, and yeah, scary, very, very scary, because there's that belief in yourself. I'm not degreed, I haven't been to school for this, I just live through experience, wisdom, follow different philosophies. Buddhism I follow is my number one, is what I follow, but I don't claim to be any one thing, yes, I'll tell people I'm a Buddhist, but I also follow, Hinduism and Taoism and, whatever seems to ring a bell and come my way, whatever it is. If I'm hearing something that's coming from a direction and I'm like, yeah, I can use that, then I'm not any one thing. I'm everything, right? So, and then it went from there, and then I started starting to show people this and teach people, and then started to understand that, I have connections with a lot of people, and being able to use strategies for shifting the mind like I have, and thinking in a different way, and looking at certain ways, the ways you are programmed from somewhere. It's not really who you are. I didn't really know. That's how I'm able to explain it to people, because I've broken out of that. 5 years ago, I'm not who I am now standing here. So, when people come and sit in front of me, there's a questionnaire I have them fill out, just so I've got a bit of a background of who they are, and then and kind of a bit of a direction of where we're going. And then it's a matter of, those first few, of course, is building the relationship, and trust is a huge thing. I always know when someone's fell in complete trust with me, because it really starts coming out, and it's like, okay, there's that trust. And then once you get that, or once I've got that, and we can, I just started being able to put two and two together, and you don't realise that there's some things that are right in front of you that you can't see, and it just takes someone to go, well, what about, do you think this matches this? Wow. I'm still doing it. I did it yesterday. I did one of those, wow, in my own therapy session. There's been many times I've said to my therapist, how did I not see that? But you don't, because it's stuck. So, I like to look at people, and I like to, nobody's a number to me. I want to get to know the person, so that, because I'm an empath too, so, you know, I can, believe it or not, I can kind of, if I'm not quite understanding something, I like to work to step into their shoes and feel what they may be feeling, and more often than not, you're feeling this way, and it's, yeah, and it's like, okay, so and then I use that, and I've seen energies. This might sound crazy, guys, but there's no denying it. If you would have told me this 5 years ago, I would have said to you, you're mad. But even though I had to believe in it, it was something, but, you know, it was all like, you know, I'd see fucking, you know, I was one of those guys, Hare Krishna's in London, and I'm like, wow, what the heck, what's going on there, right? And there'll be people like, you know, laughing at that, and it's like, no, they had it right, they're the guys that had it all correct. I had it all wrong. The way my mind was thinking just there, I had it all wrong. You know, so I'm not like that anymore, and that's what I use. I use how I've shifted to shift somebody else. And people have got to talk, of course. You know, you want people to talk to you and have confidence in talking to you, because if they don't talk to me, then I've got no direction or where to go. If they don't tell me which direction they want to go, or give me some kind of, you know, yeah, of course, in the beginning, I'm listening, and then I'm not one of these people, which I've been in therapy before, that just sit there and look at you. I don't do that, unless we're getting into an area. Then, yeah, of course, I'm paying attention and I'm listening. And every now and again, I might throw in something there, like a question, or something starts rolling around in my head, and I go, hang on a minute, here's what I'm thinking, I'm going to throw it out there. And they say, okay. And I start like throwing out what's coming to me, because it's like I've seen energies. There's been more than once when I've come out with things and I thought, where did that come from? You know, I really believe that I'm surrounded by something, and there's things going on actually right now, even in the house, and I'm like, what's going on here? Because it's kind of around me. The freaking Xbox switched on, just switches on, and now I noticed last night, I got one of those not a humidifier, but it's one of those you drop the oils in and it pumps out humid air. You know, I guess it's they don't call them that, aromatherapy thing, you know, and it goes different colours and stuff, and I have it by my bed, and what I normally do is I'll kick it on, put my oils in there, kick it on, and then go and do whatever I'm doing, getting ready, and then it starts smelling the room nice, and then I find what I want to listen to, because I listen to sounds as I'm going to sleep, and then I'll shut the light out on it, keep it going, but shut the light out on it, so there's no light. Anyway, it was early morning this morning, and I wake up and that thing's kicked on. Can't explain it, it's never done it before. The thing is absolutely in great working order, no problems with it, never had a problem with it, and it's, you know, so I look at those things and I'm like, okay, what's happening, what's going on? And I use all this. This is what I use to move somebody to where they want to go. I want to know the person. I want to know about them, where they want to go, what they're looking for, you know, what their anxieties are, what's the past, what's the programs, what's the belief systems you got, you know. And I look at everything. I basically, yes, a lot of it is, they'll call me a therapist. Like I say, I'm not licensed, I'm not degreed. But I like to move people's lives, and I tell people that I don't want to. It's not just moving your mind. You know, a lot of people go in and say, I've got anxiety with this, and this. Okay, so you work on that, and that. Well, then what? Right? Bye. You know, it's like, you know, move them somewhere, and that's what I like to do. And I get emotional sometimes. I've been emotional with people as well. You know, you can't help it. It's that empath part. I put myself there, try and put myself in their shoes. And there's been times when I've said I can't even imagine being there, because I've not been there. But and then start working it, giving them other alternatives, different ways of thinking things. You know, it's just different ways. It's like just looking at things in different ways. not succumbing to the negative mind and dropping down into, you know, I have people with substance abuse and stuff like that, and I don't like calling it abuse, really. People know it as that, but I don't like calling it that, because, you know, the substance is being used for a reason. It's there for something. So what's that? And I don't look at what that is. I look at what the reasons are behind it. It's like you don't want to keep popping pills for something to mask the symptoms. You want to find out and go back and find out where it's coming from, and then work that, find that, and then change the whole system. That's what I like to do for people. So, cheers, Grum. I messed the first one up. Because it didn't. I don't think it came out quite like this one. But thanks everybody for the support. I really, really do appreciate it and love you guys. You know, I even tell some of my clients, love you. And, you know, I really do feel you guys from here. I like to get involved completely. I'm actually feeling it now, just saying that. So, thank you. I really do. I really do appreciate the support. I really do. And go and subscribe. Give me the old thumbs up. Pass it around. I've got plenty out there to look at. Pass it around. Get the word out. You know, it's about helping people and about getting the, you know, so many people you find will, when I've posted little shorts out there just to experiment, and they'll watch a bird walking around, and you'll get 200 and something views on it, and then you post something positive, and you'll get, you know, maybe 50. So, you know, it tells me, it's like, where's people's minds, you know, right? In that bird, obviously, that's relaxing them. So, hey, listen, it's a matter of just letting people know who I am, yeah? And pass it around, subscribe, like I say, give me a thumbs up, and you can bang that bell and all. There's a bell there, I think, that you can hit and get the old notification and shit like that. So go and check Grom out too, and stay the course, guys. Namaste.